is to actually look at what you're consuming, what you're putting in your mouth, and start making changes. Let's talk about food. This morning, yesterday, good morning. So yesterday I put a post on Facebook, and the post talked about some of common food companies and what they use for their all natural flavorings, and how it's like crickets and bugs and larvae and all kinds of craziness. Now, if you guys have gone down that rabbit hole, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, you may not want to, because there's some crazy stuff in some of our food that is flavoring our processed food. Here's the key in that conversation. Our processed food. The truth is, we Americans are living on a processed food diet. We're going through the drive-thru. We're drinking the Starbucks latte that's got 35 ingredients in it, which is just absolutely insane. Ain't nobody drinking black coffee. Everybody's drinking all the foo-foo and the flavorings and the crunch on top and the cold foam and the blah, blah, blah. You guys know what I'm talking about. You're going through the drive-thru and you're ordering a burger and you're like, Jen, it's just a burger. It's meat. That's protein. Yeah, I'm getting some carbs with the bun, but it's just a burger, right? It's not just a burger. There are so many preservatives and crazy chemicals and all of these things that literally are preserving that burger for months at a time, where it can sit in a freezer for years before you consume it. Guys, that is not how our food is meant to be. Your body wants to consume real, raw, roaming food 24/7. It wants real food. And a friend of mine reached out to me this morning and she goes, well, Jen, I saw your post. Can you tell me if you think some of these like bars, shakes, cookies, blah, blah, blah that I'm using, my Atkins this, my protein this, my Weight Watchers this, is good for me? Is it really ultra processed? Do you think it's got bugs in it? Like, what is in my food, right? And she's sending me package labeling and I'm looking at it. Chemicals I can't even pronounce. Chock full of tons of sucralose, which we know raises your insulin levels just like sugar, right? Artificial colors, flavorings, dyes. I'm like, why are you consuming this? Now, the truth is, some of us out of convenience from time to time, we will dive into some processed food. You know, I'm not going to say I'm never going to go through the drive-thru again. I'm not going to say I'm never going to have a cookie again. I'm not going to have a processed food item again. I'm never going to have a latte. I'm not going to say that to you. Okay, because there may be a time and place where I do that. I'm on the go, I'm on the run, I'm on vacation, and I'm eating for convenience. But what I am telling you is, on the day-to-day, on what you are planning to go in your life each and every day, what you need to do is look for food that roams, look for food that grows, look for food that rots. Real food. Because you cannot live off the Atkins shakes and you cannot live off the protein bars, because they slow down your gut. They make you slow, they make you sluggish, they literally bog down your kidneys and liver so that your body can't process everything the way they should. They destroy the gut microbiome. They're eating too much processed food. And just because it's a protein bar, just because it has protein in it, doesn't make it healthy. I need you to understand that. Do you want to meet your protein goals? Of course. Do you want to get good fiber in? Of course. But if you're consuming ultra processed food to get to those goals, are you really getting anywhere? Are you really getting anywhere? Right? Or are you shooting yourself in the foot? Because if you're getting the protein you need, but you're bogging down your liver and your pancreas in the ways to get there, are you really getting anywhere? You're not. That's the truth. You're really not. You're really not. I sit down with my type 2 diabetics and counsel them on their medication and try to help them balance their insulin and not overuse medication, but instead get some control in their life. Some of the biggest things that people will say to me is, well, doc told me to increase my protein. So I have a protein bar and a protein shake and a protein this and a protein cookie and a protein blah, blah. And I said, okay, did you eat any meat today? Well, no. Are you vegetarian? Well, no. And you need to increase your protein? Why aren't you eating meat? For our non-vegetarians, if you're eating a shake and a bar and a this and a that to try to get your protein goals, but you're not eating any actual meat throughout the day, what are you doing for yourself? Honest question. How many of you on here, put something in the comments, how many of you on here consume a protein bar, a protein shake, a protein this, a protein that every single day in order to get to your health goals? How many of you plan it? How many of you pack it as a lunch? I'm just gonna take my protein shake on the go today, this is lunch. And you think you're healthy. Because someone along the line says, if you meet your protein goals, you're gonna get to where you need to be. Little did you know, when you look at the back of the protein shake, does it just say protein? Heck no, it doesn't say just protein. It lists 15, 20, 30 ingredients. All of those ingredients your body has to process. This is the problem with ultra processed foods. Now, you look at the back of the label and you got some clean ingredients there and there's literally like 3 ingredients. That is something you can probably consume, right? That is something that's not gonna bog down your body. Does it still beat real, honest food? No, it doesn't, and that's the key. Real fruit, real vegetables, real meat, real healthy fats, eating eggs, eating avocado, eating steak, okay? These are the foods that are going to set you up for success. These are the foods that are going to help you balance your blood sugar and keep us streamlined. It's the processed foods that keep us in a sugar and carb addicted cycle. It's the processed foods that cause insulin resistance, the leading cause of cardio and metabolic health issues in the United States today and for the last 20 years, even though your doctor's not talking about it. Your doctor's not talking about it. I know my doctor wasn't talking about it. Wasn't having that conversation with me. How many of you guys have heard of insulin resistance and know what it is? Put a 1 in the comments. Have you heard of insulin resistance and do you know what it is? Put a 1 in the comments. If you have no idea what the heck I'm talking about, you're like me 2.5 years ago before I got on TikTok. Crazy enough. Put a 2 in there. Put a 2 if you have no clue what I'm talking about. Just so I know where we're at with the 100 of you that are on here right now. Alice knows what she's talking about. Knows what I'm talking about. Thank you, Alice. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for putting yourself out there. Guys, the more you put yourself out there, the more you learn, the more you grow. 100% truth, 100%. So about 3 years ago, I went down the road of learning about insulin resistance. I was flipping along here on TikTok and I saw a truck driver sitting in a semi saying that he was helping people with their blood pressure, cholesterol, and blood sugar issues. And I laughed. I laughed my butt off. What is a truck driver doing talking about making health changes? I'm a pharmacist. I'm a medical professional. I have had over 6 years of college, guys, over 6 years of college, learning all about, literally, about nutrition, about medication, about disease site, about diagnosis, about what you can do about this, that, or the other. I should be the one person that you should come to help reverse your blood pressure, blood sugar, and cholesterol issues. Well, one of the many, right? One of the team. Versus a truck driver. Now, me, myself, was suffering from gut issues, from blood pressure issues, right? And borderline blood sugar issues. We all have some borderline blood sugar issues, whether you know it or not. I didn't know it 3 years ago until I dived deep and looked at my labs. And the truth is, I was suffering from all these issues, and I had a truck driver telling me that these issues were reversible with good nutrition. I ended up having a 6-month conversation with the man, his colleagues, and so many other medical professionals trying to figure out what the heck this man was talking about. What the heck is insulin resistance? Turns out it's eating too much, it's eating too often. It's diving into too much processed food. It's too many carbs, it's too much sugar, it's keeping our insulin levels higher. Do you know what insulin is? It's this beautiful hormone that's released when you eat sugar or you eat carbs that directly break down to sugar. This causes your pancreas to release insulin. Now, once your body releases insulin, it pushes that sugar out of your bloodstream and into the cells, pushes it into the muscle, pushes it into the liver, pushes it into the FAT. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Pushes it into that belly, right? So this is wonderful because insulin is actually life-saving. If your blood sugar is super high, you're going to do damage to your eyes, to your brain, to your heart, to your fingers and toes. Why? That's why you see type 2 diabetics have neuropathy, amputations, heart attacks, strokes, blindness, dementia. Where does that come from? High blood sugar. So insulin's incredible, right? It's this beautiful hormone your body makes for everybody except for if you're type 1 diabetic. Your body naturally makes that hormone. It is released from the pancreas. It lowers your blood sugar for you. Here's the problem. If you eat, if you snack, every 2 to 3 hours, if you're slamming a 60-gram latte, 60 grams of sugar latte, caramel macchiato from Starbucks every morning like I was, if your coffee is cream and sugar like mine was, if you chew on Starburst candy and suck on hard candies like the Werther's Original all day long like I was, you're spiking your sugar here and there every hour, every 2 hours, all day long. And you're getting the pancreas releasing bursts of insulin over and over and over again. Well, what does insulin do? It's sugar storage, right? That's what we were just talking about. Store sugar. What does it store sugar as? F-A-T. Stores it as fat. So what happens over time? Your waistline starts to grow, right? Your liver, you get fatty liver disease, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Why? Because it's just those little carbs and little sugar that you're consuming over and over and over and over and over again. It builds up over time. And with those little releases of insulin throughout the day, guess what happens? Your body becomes what's called insulin resistant. And once your body becomes insulin resistant, well, this is the leading cause of cardiometabolic disease today. 110%. Studies are out. It's insulin resistance. And so many Americans, up to 93% of Americans, is the latest study, are metabolically inflexible. Why? Most of us suffer from insulin resistance, even though we're not diabetic, even though we're not even yet pre-diabetic. 1 in 3 teens, by the way, are now pre-diabetic. Why? Because we're binging on the carbs. We're eating the sugar all the time. We're eating the processed food. We're living in the drive-thru. We're causing an insulin resistant state. And this insulin resistance is simple. What it is at the cellular level, here's the cells of your body, right? Insulin's the hormone pushing the sugar into the cells, making you plump up a little bit, but putting you in storage mode so you don't have a heart attack or stroke, which is good, which is life-saving. Here's the problem. Over time, your body's using insulin, pushing the sugar in the cell, pushing the sugar in the cell, pushing the sugar in the cell. This is an energy exchange. Your cells have to open and close and open and close and open and close and accept this sugar all day, every day, constantly, because this is what you're consuming. Carbs and sugar. Carbs and sugar. Over time, just like any other cellular function in your body, if you overdo it, if we're in open and close mode 24/7, the mitochondria don't work the way they should. ATP isn't created. Energy is not being made the way it should. And all of a sudden the cell just shuts down and says, I need a break. It starts slowing down. It stops accepting as much sugar. It's tired. It's worn out. It doesn't have the perfect electrolytes and minerals because you've been eating junk. Now your cell's not functioning the way it should. It becomes what's called insulin resistant. You've lost your insulin sensitivity. Now your body's releasing more insulin and more insulin and more insulin, trying to get that blood sugar down, but the cell's not opening anymore. Your cell is tired. All the cells of the body, guys. I'm talking about your liver. I'm talking about your muscle. I'm talking about your FAT cells. They're not opening up and accepting the sugar anymore, so your sugar starts to get a little higher, and your baseline sugar gets a little higher. Now you're pre-diabetic. Now it gets a little higher. Now you're diabetic. Now you're full-blown type 2. You go to the doctor's office because you're feeling terrible, and your doctor says, we need to put you on 5 prescriptions. You need to be on a statin. You need to be on 2 blood pressure medications. 1 to fix your kidneys, 1 to take down the blood pressure issues you have from consuming too much sugar. Let's put you on the metmorphin. Let's get you on the Ozempic. This is what happens. I watch it. I am a diabetic educator, guys. I watch this over and over and over and over again. People keep coming to my office with the same problem. I had no idea I had a problem, and I ask them what they eat, and they tell me what they eat, and I know exactly why they're type 2 diabetic, because they've been doing it for 10, 20, 30 years. And over time, at first, their body was handling it just fine. But over time, your cells get tired. Your body gets tired. Your body gets tired of putting all that sugar into the FAT. Your body gets tired of putting all that sugar into your liver. Your body gets exhausted. It gives up, it poops out, and this is why the number of type 2 diabetics keeps going up and up and up. I firmly believe that if you eat processed food every single day, you will be type 2 diabetic sometime between now and the day they put you in the ground. I guarantee it, every single one of us. It's the truth, and I'm putting this out there not to scare you, but to inform you and awaken you.